Hello, and welcome to another tour by Hawaiian Shirt Papa. This time it's the Iron Bucket Antiques and Collectibles in downtown Fergus. Very interesting shop, right on the main street. This is the second of two videos for this same location. Here you see some focus on a particular shelf, and I'd like you to tour with me vicariously. We're going to be doing an antique and vintage shop today. So here we are. We are at the other side of the store from last time. We saw a glimpse of this in the previous video, but we didn't go into it, but we saw it. There's a still. We're just going to scroll down the screen to see the bottom of the same still. Now a little bit of humor continues on the inside from the outside, although I think this one has a little bit of serious flavor to it, because there's a lot of magazines they had to go through. So I said a lot. So we're moving along, and we've got some transferware. I believe that's what it's called. It's not my specialty area. Sometimes I pick up some things and I may be incorrect, but it's probably ceramic, possibly porcelain, but I'm not so sure about that. Nice view of some of the other things that they have here. Some of it's tin, some of it's glass, like Pyrex, some of it's ceramic. This bit of a kitchenware thing. They've got some Pyrex ware, Corning ware actually there. A couple of different patterns that I notice. It's a retro kind of cornflakes box. It was produced not that long ago. So don't remember the price offhand. Are we going to close in on it a little bit? Well, this is the other pattern in any case. And they're $95 for a set of 4. So it's probably a little bit less expensive for the cornflower, which is beside it. So these are what you find. That Corningware was not one I'm as familiar with. Some old mixers there, some other kitchenwares. So we're seeing quite a bit. Look like some artificial vanilla flavor there. These are the stairs that we're going to go down. We're not going to show you the actual stepping down. I did take the video for it, but it didn't work out all that well, so it wasn't too useful. It would have made the video even that much longer, so having it in 2 was plenty. I didn't have enough that would be worth making it a 3 video. The place is definitely worth time to be spent in. There's plenty to look at. If you want to narrow down what your true love or desire is, I would speak to the proprietor, who's usually at the desk, but sometimes they're elsewhere in the store, and they'll definitely get you to places that would probably be of more interest to you. Like I said, there are at least 2 locations that I found for the vintage fly fishing rods or fishing rods. There could be more if that's your passion. So here we've got some interesting glass items in black glass, some of it with gold and silver trim, makes it stand out. And then we have the little statuaries that you see here, most likely in porcelain in that case. And then we have books. We saw some of it earlier, but there's more. There's some of the books you see, I think that's in the mirror. Some vintage table lamps, mid-century for sure, from the shade alone. As we were going down the stairs, our magpie eye caught this. It's got a bit of an Egyptian motif to it. They have some artwork there, and these are the shelves on the other side from the artwork. I have some more stills of some of the items that are in here. Those are an interesting set of glass. Some what looks like silver tin plate. And they've grouped some of the colored glass or ornamental glass. And then I don't remember if these were glass or ceramic. I don't know if I even picked them up to find out. Very nice looking pieces. So there's a bit of the going down the stairs. This was also in there. And then when we got to the very bottom and got into the basement, I found a couple of antique toasters. I find they actually work better than modern day toasters. I love the little simple technique on the one I had in my hand there. You put your toast in. When you get it to the point where you think it might be good, you lower the door all the way to the table. It slides down and automatically turns it to the other side. Yes, it only toasts one side at a time, and that can actually be a bonus for some types of folks who may want to have the softness of the bread on the one side and a little bit of the crunch on the other side. Yes, you can do it with some of the modern toasters, but like I said, there's a nice feel to this, and yes, of course, if you ignore it, it will burn them to a total crisp and set the toast on fire, but that's for lack of being attentive. And there we've got the storage jars, all sorts of other things. Oh yes, these bags for granulate or flour type food products. They had more than one. Then they had books, other glassware. I think we're going to be seeing some more kitchenware there. This was a real eclectic collection down here. It's kind of like their overflow from what would have been upstairs, but I'm not so sure it's overflow anymore. Yeah, you see some of the plumbing coming through. Part of the area is closed off from public. They've got their LPs down here. I didn't particularly find any musty odor in here, so you should be okay. Some of these crates have been around a long time, some are far more contemporary. You never know what you're finding. These are, those are ephemera. Some old automotive advertising and brochures and so on and so forth. the 61 Lark. I don't know if that was for the Lark from Studebaker, because that's a 1961, or if it was a Buick, which I know there was a Buick Lark as well. That came later. This is one of those places where you may want to do a little bit of digging. Not in the shovel sense, but just moving things around a bit. But it'd be neat. Oh, they had those sets of books that used to be so popular, where all the spines were the same. Just the text on them changed. Collector's guides. And then there is some more books here. I'm not going to say that there was absolutely no mustiness, but I didn't perceive any. I'm not the best of resources for that. These are LPs here. And then there was some artwork. Primarily framed, not all of it. Some of it was very old style frame. Hamburg Trio. Definitely prior to World War II, if not before World War I. The area is not far from a German type of enclave of Kitchener. So nothing surprises us. And apparently some of the folks who are there may have actually taken a much longer route to get to North America, as they may have been some of the group that were called the Volga Germans, who then migrated as Mennonites. Plenty of books and magazines and brochures to look at. The lighting's not too bad. If it isn't exactly what you want, you can always pull it out and look at it more in a slightly better light. Whole shelf of books on trains. So we're seeing plenty to look at. Plenty to look at, plenty to choose from. I'd say it's probably a pretty good place to go and visit on one of your trips into the area. So, oh yes, some random plumbing, steam, I'm not sure exactly what. That's where the toasters are. There was at least two, I think I saw a third. And then at the bottom of the stairs we had some of this art glass, and it's looks like a oil lamp of sorts with no chimney. And then you see the stairs, and sure, there's some cigar boxes there. And as we move up, we're going to see maybe a couple more things. And when we get to the top, we found this larger oil lamp. I don't think it had a chimney either. No, or it's a shade for that matter. As we move along, we're in part looking at some things over again from a different view, and you catch different things, such as a menorah. Don't find those everywhere. Depends on the neighborhood. Some neighborhoods there's plenty of them, but other areas they're not as common. That's the way to the exit door. There are some older board games, like and a Ouija board or Rumoli, which is the old. It's cards cards with a board game, playing cards. bit of an interesting game to play. Nice bits of furniture all over the place. Some of it's being used for the displays. Little statues. It's like a thermometer that's been plaqued. Well, oh yes, the old tube type radio and a transistor stereo unit. Some tins, tobacco tins. I think there was a detergent tin there as well. Honey, some spices, some other items. Back to the tobacco. And oh, some food additives like cream of tartar. Some electronics and clocks and cameras, and there's some Kodachrome film. Some mugs. We're just circling through this for a bit more. We didn't see everything when you go at it from one direction only. Sometimes you need to look at it from the other side. Ah, a toy sailing boat. That's a nice size one too. It doesn't. I don't believe those would have had remote control. You had to set them to do what you would hope to accomplish, and in some cases it would do a figure 8 if it was set just right, where the wind would catch it one way and then all of a sudden it would turn and flop the other way. It was an interesting technique some people would master, but you have to have some way to retrieve your sailboat. Well, they do look for things if you're looking to part with anything. They'll also trade. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you appreciated this one. We'd appreciate if you gave us a thumbs up, a like, and maybe even a subscribe would be great. If you mark the bell, you'll get a notification of the next video. Thanks a lot, folks. Bye-bye.